I'm Matt Honeycutt from Kublai Khan, and you're watching SoundlinkTV.
All right, what's up? This is Trenton with Soundlink Magazine, here with Matt from Kublai Khan, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. You guys are on this insane run with Varials and IAM, and the opening act Invokers, really good too. And so, how's this tour been? This is a pretty heavy-ass tour.
Everything's been good. I mean, it's kind of a short one. It's probably about 2 weeks, something like that. And we can only do, select, dates and, East Coast dates because we did just announce Warped Tour and stuff like we were talking about. And because of that, we had to get it approved to be able to do it and stuff like that. So I'm just glad we got to, because otherwise we kind of would have been just waiting.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed around Warped Tour is that a lot of the bands on the tour sort of have little tours going on at the same time. Last year we did an interview with Memphis Mayfire, and that package they were on was basically all on Warped Tour as well. And so Varials is doing their hometown on it also. So what's this like? I guess even though they're doing one date, I guess sort of like bonding over this and getting to be a part of the last Warped Tour.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I remember going to Warped Tour when I was super young. I've been to several of them, and I haven't been to any of them recently. But it's one of those things. It's just kind of like, I don't understand how we got this lucky,
Yeah.
Because we're getting to do the whole tour. It's going to be, last Warped Tour final experience kind of thing. And we're all just super excited because it's nostalgia, but it's also like our future. You know what I mean? And hopefully it builds our name even more,
Now, bands like you guys, I guess we're on it back, when it was sort of started, the hardcore punk, and then it got to the whole scene phase, and now it seems like the past couple of years more hardcore, more heavy metalcore, whatever you want to call your band, it has been on the tour. So what's it like having this genre come up in a, I guess, a quote unquote scene market, if you will?
I mean, I think it's been really good. I mean, as far as this Warped Tour too, I'm kind of surprised because there's a lot of heavy bands, but I feel like there's very few mosh bands, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And so I'm really curious to see how that does, because I feel like, the response that we got from announcing, a lot of kids were saying, oh, we're going to come out and we're going to watch you guys' set and blah, 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 blah. But then I look at the actual lineup, and there's a lot of bands that are just covering a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see if our demographic, really comes out and what to expect, because like I said, there's not a whole lot of bands that are just mosh bands,
Yeah. I think it's you guys, Every Time I Die, are pretty much more, I guess, the two heavier bands. And last year Knocked Loose did really well too. They were one of the heavier bands along with Hatebreed.
Yeah. And shit. Yeah, Hatebreed,
Yeah, so you don't get a tour with bands like Movements who are a little bit softer and stuff. And so what's that like? Are you looking forward to bonding with bands like that? Making connections and all that, or what are you trying to go into this experience with?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main things I want to do is just watch all the different kinds of bands that are playing. I mean, Sum 41 is one of my favorite bands. So to be able to be on tour, and even if I don't even talk to them, but just to be able to watch them every day is one of those things that I really want to just kind of dive headfirst into the experience and really soak it up as much as I can, because it is the last Warped Tour, and it's only one summer, so I really want to live it up, Okay.
Now, you guys are a very high-energy band. Listening to your music, people can listen to that and tell that you guys bring a lot of energy, come to your shows, but even though this is a headliner and you're indoors, Warped Tour is a whole different story. It's out in the heat. It might be rainy one day, it might be hot the next day. So, how are you preparing you guys? I guess your energy and vocals, instruments, and all that to handle those kinds of elements?
To be honest with you, I really have no idea. None of us have talked about we should probably start dieting or eating better so we don't pass out every day. But I mean, it's one of those things we're just gonna have to probably feel it out, because we've definitely done numerous summer tours, sleeping in a van without AC, boiling to death literally every day. And I know that this tour is probably going to be a little bit more comfortable than those. So I think it's really just going to, take a whole lot of just figuring it out quick, because I don't think it's one of those things that we can just fully plan for,
Are you guys bandwagoning it, or are you vanning it?
We're just taking our van, man. We're taking a van and trailer, which we never tour with a trailer, but we have to for this one, because, I mean, it's such a long tour that if we don't all have enough room, we'll probably tear each other apart,
I think it was Fit for King. I heard talk about doing it in a van for a long time. I think they did one whole tour with that no AC. Yeah. And so, what do you guys?
Several like that, and it's a shithole, but at the same time, you kind of get used to it.
You guys from the South, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's one of those things. If you're tired, you'll fall asleep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing in the cold. we've been doing this whole tour. It's been raining the entire time. It's been freezing cold. We don't really stay at people's houses. We sleep in our van every night, and I mean, I get a great night's sleep, you know. So.
So you guys put out a record last year and everything, and what's the response been for that with everybody? And where do you got? You kind of like in that cycle where you're in the middle of it. You know, you're not exactly ready to market new music, but you're probably still in the beginning stages. So what's that like right now in terms of music?
I mean, everything's been good. This is our second headliner off that record, and when we did our first headliner, the record came out about a week towards the end of the tour. And so it really didn't have a whole lot of time to be out before we were able to kind of see how it would do or what was going on. But being on this tour, I mean, there's been a really good response. I mean, it's one of those things. We never know how our records are going to do because we're not the most like social media like kind of guys that really put ourselves out there or like really pay attention to like, I guess that kind of shit. We're just more of like in person, like, hey, if you come to the shows, then that's when you'll know what's up. That's when you'll see us and stuff like that. But I mean, the surprise has been a lot, or the what's the right word? I don't know, but it's definitely been a big shock compared to what we thought it was going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and one of those things is, I guess, on your first one, you know, people necessarily didn't know the songs, but you know, between then and now, they have listened to it, known the songs, and so they're even more energetic and stuff for that, as well as new fans. You know, you guys are bringing in new fans and all that stuff too. So, you guys have Warped Tour coming up. I assume that's all you can talk about for right now and everything, but what else is going on in your world that you can talk about or want to promote?
I mean, pretty much like we've got Warped Tour. Everything besides that, we're doing just a couple of festivals. We're going to Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
And playing around there, but other than that, like, that's pretty much it. Like, we're kind of stagnant and just waiting until Warped Tour, which it's already announced and everything, so I think that it'll be good. It'll build enough hype and all that stuff so people know it's like, oh, we're not just doing nothing. It's like we're waiting for this massive summer tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for talking to us today. I'm Trenton with SoundlinkTV, hanging out with
Matt Honeycutt, Kublai Khan. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody.